What's up, YouTube fragrance family? Tommy with Studio Sense here. Today is the second day in the Gentleman series. Now, yesterday, if you tuned in to yesterday's video, I was talking about barbershop fragrances or retro gentleman fragrances. Scents that were very popular 20 some odd years ago. They represented what was best about being masculine and about that brand and about being a gentleman back in whenever it was, 1978, 1988. That's what makes these scents classic and outstanding, and that's why they're still available today. Now, today we're talking about the same type of fragrance, and in today's definition of mature, all I simply mean in the context of gentleman fragrances are ones that are a little bit more money. You know, you've heard the word playful used in reference to a fragrance. A lot of people use the word playful to describe a fragrance that's sweet. So, you know, something that's going to be sweet, something that's going to be lighthearted, bright, citrusy, that kind of thing. That's not these fragrances. These are a bit more mature, more thoughtful, thought-provoking, a little bit pensive, something that's a little bit more mature and appropriate to wear if you're a little bit older of a gentleman, somebody that's in their 30s maybe and on up. That's not to say that if you're younger, you can't wear these barbershop gentleman fragrances, because you can. It's all in how you deport yourself. It's all in your swagger or how you want to be represented. So when we return, I'm going to give you my top 10 fresh, clean, and unique fragrances for the mature gentleman. I've got that and more coming right after this. Welcome back, guys, and sorry for that hefty intro. I just wanted to kind of introduce the Gentleman series, if you didn't see yesterday's video, to give you some context so you would know what I'm talking about. It's time for some very quick housekeeping. I'm going to make some announcements in terms of who won the Jacques Fath Curaçao Bay, the full bottle, which is a discontinued vintage fragrance, and then Davidoff Adventure, the long way home fragrance, we'll call it. Okay, so the winner of Jacques Fath Curaçao Bay, this very large 200 ml bottle, is What the Hector. I laughed when I saw that pop up, What the Hector. If you are What the Hector, that is what D-A-H-E-C-T-O-R, all you got to do is email me at studiosense@gmail.com. That email address is appearing down here below, and I'll send this out to you. Just make sure you send me an address that's here in the US. I'm not shipping internationally yet. If you are in the US, then you are the winner. If you don't currently live in the US, but you have someone that you want to ship this to who can get it to you, or that you want to gift it to that's in the US, hey, that's fine too. The winner of Davidoff Adventure, I'm going to post the actual card from YouTube random comment picker of the winner of Davidoff Adventure. This is you, and you won Davidoff Adventure. So send me the address you want me to ship it to at studiosense@gmail.com, and I'll get it out to you ASAP. Both you and What the Hector, I will send out your winnings as soon as you reply and let me know. So we've got a top 10 list to go through, and we're referencing the word mature when talking about these fragrances. They're a little bit more geared towards the thought-provoking, mature, intelligent gentleman, as opposed to the playful, ready to go run and have a good time, youthful-oriented fragrances. Coming in at number 10 is a fragrance by Rochas. It's one of the best barbershop fragrances that you can spray on yourself right now that's fresh, clean, and adds a unique perspective to being neat. Rochas Mustache Original 1949. It was originally launched in 1949, but this is actually the reformulation of 2018, I think, was when they reformed and repackaged it. But it still has that same bright, vibrant, zesty maturity that makes it Mustache Original. It's a fantastic barbershop fragrance, and it doesn't get much fresh, cleaner, and neater, and that unique, mature perspective, and that's why it's coming in at number 10. Mustache Original 1949 by Rochas. Coming in at number 9 is a fragrance that definitely is fresh, clean, and unique, but another fragrance had this same perspective and is very similar to, and that's why it's coming in at number 9, why it's even in this list, and it is Baldessarini Ombre. Ombre is very similar to the original Boss Bottled Intense, the Eau de Parfum, we'll say, because there was an EDT. The Eau de Parfum just a little bit better, a little bit longer lasting, and a little bit more dense. It actually smells very, very close, and that's why I really like it. But it has a kind of maturity about it. When I first sprayed this on, I was like, yeah, this is definitely a well put together gentleman kind of fragrance. It has that maturity about it. I think what makes it smell so similar to Boss Bottled Intense, the EDP, is that combination of mandarin orange, red apple, and whiskey. So it's got a boozy element to it that gives it its maturity and gives it that whole Boss Bottle intense flavor. I really like it, and I think you will too, and that's why it comes in as number 9 of my fresh, clean, and unique mature gentleman's fragrances. Coming in at number 8 is a fragrance that was created by Cartier, and it came out in 1992. One of the best barbershop fragrances that has that whole Cartier fresh, genuine, spicy appeal, and that is Pasha de Cartier, the namesake. This is among the best of spicy, woodsy barbershop with that throwback appeal to it. Definitely a mature, elegant gentleman would be wearing this. Think Givenchy Gentleman, the original, without the tarragon. It's a little bit more fresh, woodsy barbershop as opposed to spicy barbershop, without the whole kind of spicy, biting tarragon cumin flavor. This is an intensely barbershop clean, thought-provoking gentleman's fragrance, and that's why it's coming in at number 8. Pasha de Cartier by Cartier. Guys, one of my favorite notes in the mature man's kind of barbershop elegant kind of fragrance is the use of star anise, because star anise is one of those notes that just adds an element of almost absinthe herbaceous green, and it does that and warms this fragrance up quite a lot. It is by Moschino, and it's Moschino Forever. This guy came out in 2011 and is one of the best mature thoughtful fragrances out there using that whole star anise. You've also got kumquat, tonka, pepper, sandalwood, vetiver. It's a cornucopia of everything that has that overall barbershop tone with a little bit more of a modern feel to it as opposed to a throwback feel. And that's why Moschino Forever is coming in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is a fragrance that came out in 1985, so it has that whole 80s appeal to it with a little bit of a Euro flair, a European flair. It's a fragrance by Caron called Homme de Caron, or Les Trois Hommes de Caron. This has that throwback clove, lavender, coriander, oak moss. So that's the rectangle, I guess, since it's 4, wouldn't be a trifecta. So that's kind of the rectangle of the gentleman barbershop fragrance appeal. And this is something that a mature man who has everything put together, already has his family. Whenever they borrow the car, they get in the car, they say it smells like this. That brings them fond memories of having a good time with dad. A great mature man's fragrance, and that's why it's number 6. Alright guys, we are down to my top 5 fresh, clean, and unique mature gentleman's fragrances. Coming in at number 5 is a Carolina Herrera fragrance, and it is the original 212 Man. Not 212 VIP, not to be confused with that. This one has that original masculine, manly, powdery, kind of overtly mature quality about it that made it such a iconic Carolina Herrera fragrance. It's citrusy, it's grassy, it's got lavender, spices, it's got floral notes resting on a woodsy, there's like sandalwood, guaiac wood base. This one brings the retro gentleman into the modern age, but still has that whole mature aspect to it, and that's why it's number 5, 212 Men by Carolina Herrera. Plus, who doesn't like a magnetic cap? That's just really cool. Coming in at number 4 is a fragrance that came out in 2004 by Guerlain. It is L'Instant Homme de Guerlain. Now, this bottle is unique from the standpoint that they've repackaged it back into the square bottles like what you're used to seeing in like the L'Homme Ideal line. So L'Instant Homme de Guerlain is now repackaged, but I like this bottle. It doesn't matter. If you have the new bottle, that's perfectly fine. The juice is the same and it's gorgeous. Fantastic, kind of vetiver-esque, dry, elegant, mature man's fragrance. This one also makes use of star anise. There's jasmine, there's tea, there's cocoa, there's hibiscus, some floral notes. It's just a very soft yet masculine portrayal of the mature man back in the 80s and the 90s, and one of the best representations of that by Guerlain, and that's why it's number 4. Alright everyone, we're down to my top 3 fragrances that are fresh, clean, and unique for the mature gentleman, and it doesn't get much more mature than Lalique Pour Homme, the lion head, I guess we'll call it. Since the other one is Lalique Equus, or a lot of people say the horse head fragrance, this has been called the lion head. But it is called Lalique Pour Homme, and it's the eau de parfum. Lalique Pour Homme, the eau de parfum lion head. Even taken away from the world of barbershop and taken away from the world of mature, this is just a masterpiece of a fragrance. And what's so crazy is that it's super inexpensive. So you're talking about a $30 bottle of fragrance that smells like it's $200 niche fragrance. It's captured something. It's got that whole mature, old money appeal. It smells like you're jumping in your Bentley, going somewhere extremely unique. You're a CEO, you're needed there. You've got lots of things going on and you don't have time to play around. You're a mature man and your fragrance says it. And that's why Lalique Pour Homme, the EDP, the Lionhead fragrance, is coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is a fragrance by Dolce & Gabbana, and it's the original old money fragrance. It is D&G Intenso. There's really no other fragrance besides L'Instant de Guerlain, which is kind of sort of similar, has some similar aspects about it. A very unique, dry, elegant hay. There's Brand Absolute. There's tobacco. This, to me, when I smell it again, I smell money, I smell intention, I smell legacy. All of those things wrapped up in a very unique masculine scent, a very aromatic masculine scent. Very long lasting. Again, there's not a lot out there that's similar to or like, and that's why it's coming in at number 2 of my fresh, unique, and clean, mature gentleman's fragrances. So we are down to my number 1 fresh, clean, and unique, mature gentleman's fragrance. The number 1, what I consider the number 1 fragrance, is actually by Jean Paul Gaultier in the Le Male line. It's, you guessed it, Le Male Le Parfum, or Le Male Parfum. Now, what's interesting about this unique fragrance is that the Le Male and Ultra Male is considered one of the best clubbing or youthful oriented fragrances. And what they've done is they've kind of kept that unique energy, but they bound it up in a deeper, darker, more mature intentions. They've slowed it down a little bit. They put big boy pants on it. They've added commitment to it. And suddenly we have Le Male Parfum. We still have that cardamom, iris, lavender, vanilla, and oriental woods combination. One of the best. It's got this lightly smoky, resinous density to it that makes it a great date night fragrance. It makes it a great fall-oriented fragrance. And you can even wear it during the summer in those cooler nights of summer. It just depends on what your intention is, but this is a fantastic wingman if your intention is intimacy. And that's why Le Male de Parfum is my number 1 fresh, clean, and unique, mature gentleman's fragrance. Well, that's it for today's list, guys. What do you think about the fragrances that were mentioned in today's list? What are your favorites? Or if I left out a super unique, fresh, and clean, mature man's fragrance that should be in this list, let everyone know what those are, what that is, in the comments below. I appreciate everyone who stopped by to check out today's video, and as always, thanks so much for your continued support of my channel. I hope you and your family stay safe and have a great day out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video review.